Weekend kicks off modern gun season for youth hunters, and Wake Up Central's Skot Covert has all the information hunters need to know in today's Outdoor Report.
Hey, welcome back outside to the Weather Garden. It's Saturday, which means it's time for another edition of the Outdoor Report. Trey, a lot of hunters, youth hunters out in the deer woods this weekend. Tell us about youth deer season.
It's a big weekend for the young people. It is the first modern gun season of the 2023-2024 deer season, and kids get the first crack. And hopefully there's some kids maybe watching this. They're already in from the deer stand with a buck or a doe,
right.
or maybe their first deer, and just an exciting.
Do you remember your first deer?
I do. You know, I was 9 years old, and it was honestly, and a lot of people were surprised by this, was with a muzzle loader.
Okay. Old school.
All of 44 years ago.
Okay.
We hadn't had a muzzle loading season that long back then, but yeah, 9 years old. There was a little light snow on the ground, and little young doe.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about
you don't
that?
ever forget that first one.
Okay, so before we get to the big season opener next Saturday, I got an opportunity to get a free biscuit, and I love free stuff. What do I need?
Yeah, all you need is an Arkansas hunting license,
Got it.
Scott.
Done.
Yeah, some folks may be familiar with this. We've been working with Hardee's restaurants in Arkansas for a number of years, and they just kind of reached out to us a few years ago and said, hey, you know, we know hunting's a big part of the culture in Arkansas, and we want to kind of say thank you to hunters for participating in conservation and supporting deer hunting. And so for, this is like 5, 6, 7 years we've been doing this now. You go to any participating Hardee's in Arkansas, and I think there's about 50 of them.
Okay.
And all you got to do, show your Arkansas hunting license, whether you've got a paper copy or the digital copy on your phone, on the app. Yeah. And they'll give you a free sausage biscuit during regular breakfast hours on Wednesday. So yeah, Wednesday, November 8th, and go take advantage of it. And it is a really cool way to say thank you to hunters for participating, and we really appreciate Hardee's doing this for a number of years now.
So you're guaranteed to not go home hungry. You might not kill a deer.
You may not put any venison in the freezer, but if you go buy a Hardee's with that hunting license, you will get some sustenance. Okay,
so we kind of teed it up. We are 7 days away from the opening of modern gun deer season in Arkansas. Just anecdotally, what are your thoughts? And you're a week out. Get some folks some tips at home.
Yeah, so I think things are looking pretty good. You know, we had a pretty dismal muzzleloading season.
It's too hot
with the weather. Yeah, we talked about that last week. A great weekend for the kids this weekend. Of course, not as cold as it was earlier in the week, but I mean, it'll still be chilly. You know, feel like deer season. Deer ought to be moving. And it's going to warm up pretty nicely in the 70s during the day. So that's really good for the kids. You don't want them to be uncomfortable, right? And really, Scott, that hits my first tip for adults that are taking kids. If you've not done it before, look, make it about them. Don't try to live vicariously through them this weekend. Listen, if they get cold or are uncomfortable or bored, go back to camp or go back to the car. You know, let them take a video game. Let them play on their phone. You know, while you're waiting for the deer. You know, the whole idea is to get them connected with nature. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but hey, as long as they're out there and experiencing it, that's great. I've been hearing some reports, just again anecdotally, as you noted. I mean, I think the rut is really starting to kick in. Folks are calling me and saying, hey, I'm seeing the bucks chasing does, and bucks are acting a little weird. So it's that time of year, man. It is that time, and typically the peak of the rut is about mid-November. Okay. So we're creeping into that, and so it's time, man. It is time.
Any changes in regulations or rules that folks need to know about, or same old, same old?
You know, I'll say it again. It seems like a broken record. I've talked about it the last number of weeks in a row here, but if you don't have the new app, delete the old one off your phone, download the new app, make sure all your tags are there, and make sure everything's good and working before you get out there. That's really the big one, and just get out there and have fun and be careful.
And be careful, number one rule. All right, if you got questions for Trey, he's going to answer all your hunting or fishing questions this hunting season. Just text in 501-376-1111. Of course, the number there on your screen. He'll answer all your pressing questions. Might even give you a few free tips here and there. In the meantime, we'll see you guys back outside in the garden next Saturday.